Welcome to your friendly neighborhood historian, where we discuss just enough history to inform, intrigue, and entertain. I'm Bill Petro. The history of Auld Lang Syne. What does the song mean? Why is it that each New Year's Eve we sing Auld Lang Syne, but do we know what it means? The song contains words from a language that few are familiar with, in a syntax that is confusing to most, and is from a poem about friends recalling adventures they had long ago, but had nothing to do with New Year's Eve. Literally, Auld Lang Syne means old long since, but the syntax is more naturally translated as since long ago, or more familiarly, for old time's sake. The phrase is in the Scots language and dates back to the 7th century. A great deal of Scots literature was written in the 15th and 16th centuries. When King James VI of Scotland became King James I of England, Scotland, and Ireland in 1603, the Scottish upper classes had adapted and anglicized their speech and writing, developing Scots Standard English. However, the Scots language experienced a revival among Scottish poets such as Allan Ramsay in the early 18th century and Robert Burns in the later 18th century. Where did Auld Lang Syne come from? Robert Burns, considered the national poet of Scotland, wrote in a combination of vernacular Scots and Scottish English. In 1788, Burns wrote Auld Lang Syne, which is the title and key phrase in the poem. He submitted the manuscript to the Scots Musical Museum and said of it, "The following song, an old song of the olden times, has never been in print, nor even in manuscript, until I took it down from an old man." The phrase appeared in Scottish songs as early as 1588, but Burns added a few verses of his own to the old song, and the ballad subsequently became a standard song in Hogmanay, the Scottish name for New Year's celebrations. In Scotland, why were New Year's celebrations more important than Christmas? Hogmanay, the Scottish New Year, from the Anglo-Saxon Helig Monath, meaning holy month, or the Scandinavian Hogonut, meaning Yule, was an important holiday in Scotland and, for a time, even overshadowed Christmas in popular observation. Here's why. During the Scottish Protestant Reformation in the 1560s, John Knox brought back to Scotland the teachings from John Calvin, under whom he learned in Geneva. Scottish Presbyterians and the Puritans avoided Christmas celebrations due to the accumulation of various non-Christian superstitions or Roman Catholic practices. Also, in 1583, the Glasgow Kirk, or the Glasgow Church, ordered the excommunication of those who celebrated Yule. In 1640, the Scottish Parliament passed a law banning Yule vacations and all observations thereof. Even following the end of the Calvinistic Puritan rule of Britain under Oliver Cromwell and the restoration of the monarchy with King Charles II to the English throne, Scotland still did not warm to Christmas. The ban on Christmas Day in Scotland, though it was repealed in 1712, was not technically restored as a public holiday in Scotland until 1958. During those 318 years, Hogmanay rose in popularity. So how did this song become popular in America? Well, Scottish immigrants brought it with them, where it took on a more American English spelling. In the 20th century, Guy Lombardo and his Royal Canadians made the song an institution as they performed it on the radio and later in television broadcasts from New York's Times Square as The Ball dropped each New Year's Eve between 1939 and 1977. Should old acquaintance be forgot and never brought to mind? Should old acquaintance be forgot and auld lang syne? For auld lang syne, my dear, for auld lang syne, we'll take a cup of kindness yet for auld lang syne. Singing the song has become a fixture in American New Year's Eve traditions. It appears in movies like It's a Wonderful Life, Mr. Smith Goes to Washington, Ocean's 11, Forrest Gump, and even the Christmas movie Elf. It often evokes lifting a glass to toast friends, remembering the past with a tear of nostalgia. What does this song mean? While it's not a traditional holiday movie, the romantic comedy When Harry Met Sally sets up that very question about the meaning of Auld Lang Syne at the end of the film at a New Year's Eve party, where Billy Crystal, who plays Harry, asks Meg Ryan, who plays Sally, "What does this song mean? My whole life I don't know what this song means. I mean, should old acquaintance be forgot? Does that mean that we should forget old acquaintances? Or does it mean if we happen to forget them, we should remember them, which is not possible because we already forgot them?" Well, now you know. Thanks for listening. I'm Bill Petro, your friendly neighborhood historian. You can find more details on this topic and others on my website at billpetro.com.